Okay, your second challenge consists of two separate challenges. So the first one is to add an extra motor to put your robot in tank mode to allow it to turn. And the second challenge is one where you actually have to do some stuff. And so that'll be the second video. This is just the first video, very simple one. And the second challenge is to add a sensor, a light sensor, that will allow you to protect your robot from falling off the table. And it will also allow us to have your robot detect colors and follow a colored cape on the ground. Okay. So about the tank, let me show you some pictures of what you should have. Okay, so it's something like this. What you're going to do is take your original design, don't make it like mine, but take your original design and you're going to add an extra motor. Each wheel operates as its own, with its own motor, okay? And so that allows us to turn it, it'll keep one wheel stationary, and it'll tell the other wheel to move, and it'll spin about that axis, or it could spin both of them, it'll rotate it, it'll do different things, and that's what you're going to play around with, okay? But make sure that you don't have the axles attached. You can see what happens if you do. Should be simple. You might have to play around with your design a little bit, but you're going to add this to it. Now, secondly, and we'll go over this in the second video quite quickly, but then you need to add a light sensor. Now, the light sensor must be parallel to the ground, okay, because you'll see when you play with it, but the light's right on the bottom. And make sure you connect the motors. A, B, C, and D are for the motors, and sensors are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. All right, so once you do that, the programming is really quite simple. You see down here, you've got one motor, and you can operate just one motor and tell it to move, and you can actually get it to spin that way. But the Lego robots are actually set up so you can do this pretty easily with two motors. You have one that steers it, and then you have one that just moves it. So this is just simply to show you how to use it. If you want them to simply move straight, you would do this. You can also have them turn this way and do different things. This is the power for each one. Make sure you pick your individual ports. Like I have mine actually in A and B, and the order does matter here, right? So it's saying like this is motor A and that's motor B. So this is just to get it to move forwards and backwards. If you would like it to steer, then you do the one that says steering. And again, we're going to leave this on for rotations. The other ones just aren't that great. And I want you to play around with this. But this right here is you can drag this forward and backwards, and it kind of shows you the angle. And later we'll add a gyroscope to make it more accurate. But it's, you know, you can go all the way up to 100, negative 100. If you want, you can change that to degrees. And so you can change that to negative 100 degrees all the way up to 100 degrees. That's just the limiting on here. It's really up to you how you want to do it. So we're going to play around with that. Again, make sure that you use the proper ports. It should be pretty simple. You got to change your design to add the extra motor, and then play around with it and make sure you know how this works. And when you finish with that, then you can move on to the second part of the challenge, which is to add the light sensor and then program it so it doesn't fall off the table.